Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Bob Arum, he did an interview where he talked about a whole lot of different things, from Al Heyman to Spence versus Crawford. And then he talked about the whole Terrence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao situation, on whose fault it was. Now, my man Town Bizznizz, reporting for DBN, he did this interview with Bob Arum. Matter of fact, make sure you guys subscribe to Town Bizzniz's personal channel if you haven't already subscribed to it. Now, before I play this clip, let me get you guys caught up. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I had reported tons of interviews where Freddie Roach, he openly admitted that Bob Arum was pressuring them to take the Terrence Crawford fight. And Freddie Roach, he would say things like, "I don't like that fight for Manny Pacquiao." At one point, he said that Terrence Crawford is like a Floyd Mayweather with power. He was giving all type of praise to Terrence Crawford. He did not want Manny Pacquiao to get in the ring with him, despite him saying that his promoter, or Manny Pacquiao's promoter, was pushing them to make the fight. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just recently, Bob Arum, he comes out and he says he killed the fight. He said it was all him that killed the fight. So my man, once again, Town Bizznizz, he caught up with Bob Arum, and this is what Bob had to say when it comes to that question. Check it out, and I'm gonna give you guys my closing thoughts.
Okay, Bob, I gotta ask you a question about the whole Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao situation. Now, it seemed to be back and forth about whose fault it is that the fight never happened. I want to get your side of the story. What happened? Freddie Roach sort of made it look like you were trying to force them to fight Manny Pacquiao, but then you said that you killed the fight. So I was
told the people close to Pacquiao not to make that fight because it would inevitably result in Manny not only losing but maybe getting hurt. And so I never then offered to fight the man. So it is not a competitive fight. Maybe 5-10 years ago it would have been a competitive fight, but it is not a competitive fight now. Just the way Pacquiao against Spence is not a competitive fight now. And Manny Pacquiao means too much to the Philippine people, and he has contributed so much to boxing that I wouldn't want to put him in a position where he was soundly defeated and maybe even got hurt.
Well, Bob, don't you think that's sort of like showing a little bit of favoritism towards Manny? Because, I mean, shouldn't the torch have got past Bud? Sort of like a passing of the torch. Shouldn't he have got his chance to, you know, become a superstar by fighting somebody the likes of Manny Pacquiao?
Remember, this is not Manny Pacquiao when we first started, maybe 15 years ago. He's 40 years old. When a guy reaches 40, something, you know, maybe not him, but with most human beings, the cranium becomes less strong than for a young athlete. And therefore, a guy who's older can get seriously injured in a fight, in a contact sport. Any doctor will tell you that, and I wouldn't want that to happen to me. A fight with Broner was a good fight because Broner really couldn't hurt.
Why didn't y'all make that fight?
What?
Why didn't y'all make that fight a while ago? What happened? It fell through?
We tried. We started with, I think we offered Broner $4 million, and before a week was up, he was asking for $10 million. He wasn't worth $10 million.
All right, so you guys heard it from Bob Arum. Bob Arum believed that Manny Pacquiao had no chance against Terrence Crawford. He believed that Manny Pacquiao would have seriously got hurt in the ring. Now, the thing is, once again, he's saying he never tried to make the fight. But yet you have Freddie Roach, who has been saying once again for over a year that Bob Arum keeps pushing for the fight. So obviously someone is lying. But if you guys think about it, what makes more sense? Would it make sense for Freddie Roach to make him and Manny Pacquiao look bad by admitting that their promoter is pushing for the fight, but they don't want the fight? Why would Freddie Roach try to make his own fighter look bad by saying something like that? That doesn't make any sense at all. But what's more troubling to me in this whole interview that Bob Arum did is when he makes this admission that he believed that Manny Pacquiao really had no chance and he didn't want to see Manny Pacquiao get hurt. And my man Town, he asked the perfect question. He said, isn't that showing favoritism towards Manny Pacquiao when Terrence Crawford should have had his opportunity to basically take the torch, win, lose, or draw? Now keep in mind, guys, because Bob Arum, he said, well, this is not the Manny Pacquiao of 15 years ago. But remember, when Floyd Mayweather fought against Canelo Alvarez, that wasn't the Floyd Mayweather of 15 years ago. When Bernard Hopkins beat Kelly Pavlik, going into that fight, he was a heavy underdog. And that was not a 15 years ago version of Bernard Hopkins, if you know what I mean. So for Bob Arum to even say something like that, that's a serious conflict of interest. You're supposed to have the best interest of both fighters, Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. I mean, the essence of Bob Arum's job is to make his fighters as big as possible. That is a promoter's job. So you got everybody saying something different. You got a whole bunch of people lying because now you're hearing Bob Arum say he didn't want to make that fight. You guys remember it was a couple weeks before the Broner fight, Manny Pacquiao came out of nowhere and he said that Terrence Crawford ducked him. Everyone on Pacquiao's team is saying something different. So obviously there's some people lying right now. But this has always been the story with Manny Pacquiao. Everyone was saying something different when Manny Pacquiao got injured or when he claimed an injury, when he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Everyone's story was different. It's been like this for quite some time. For Bob Arum to say that he feared that Manny Pacquiao would get seriously hurt against Terrence Crawford, that suggests that he's always believed that Floyd Mayweather is a much better fighter than Manny Pacquiao, far more successful than Manny Pacquiao. They're not even on the same level, according to what Bob Arum just said right there. Because once again, if Floyd Mayweather can dominate a younger, much stronger and bigger Canelo Alvarez, who was only 23 years old, he had every advantage in that fight physically. At least every advantage except for God-given talent that Floyd Mayweather has. But think about this. Floyd Mayweather took on this big, dangerous Canelo Alvarez, but yet Manny Pacquiao was offered the Canelo Alvarez fight multiple occasions. He never took the fight. So once again, when fans try to use this, oh, Canelo was only 23 years old, etc., okay, so why didn't Manny Pacquiao fight the 23-year-old? Because if you listen to some of these fans, they'll lead you to believe that Canelo, he was there for the taking because he was just 23. That's not the way Manny Pacquiao's seen it. And to add on to that point, how many of you guys believe that Canelo Alvarez is going to be in his late 30s beating undefeated champions that are 23 years old and they're at a higher weight class and they're like 15, 20 pounds bigger than Canelo? We all know that would never happen. That's the reason why the age excuse, when people try to defend Canelo for losing to Mayweather, it makes no damn sense. But we can take it further than that. Because when it comes to Floyd versus Canelo Alvarez, if you were to reverse the roles entirely, meaning it was Canelo that moved up 5 weight classes, it was Canelo that was in his late 30s, closer to 40 than he is to 30. It was Floyd Mayweather that was 23 years old at a higher weight class. And he's pretty much in his natural weight class. He's knocking out, Floyd Mayweather's knocking out everyone, at least 80% of his opponents, he's knocking out at that weight division. Matter of fact, let's make this more dramatic. Let's say Floyd Mayweather was anywhere from 21 to 23 years old. And once again, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's fighting at a higher weight class, and he's fighting against a Canelo Alvarez that is damn near 40 years old or close to 40 years old. Now let's see how much you know about boxing. Who wins the fight in that scenario? That is a rhetorical question. we all know that it would be Floyd Mayweather. Not only would Mayweather beat Canelo in that situation, but he would most likely stop Canelo Alvarez, if not knock him down a couple times. Just like Floyd Mayweather did with Diego Corrales, with Gennaro Hernandez, with Angel Manfredi, when Floyd Mayweather was at his natural weight class. So once again, when Floyd Mayweather was in his late 30s, no one protected him. No one said, you have to understand, this is not the Floyd Mayweather from 15 years ago. Floyd Mayweather was still getting in the ring with fighters that were considered pound for pound the best, and Manny Pacquiao was one of them. And Manny Pacquiao is younger than Floyd Mayweather. So once again, you have Floyd taking on Canelo. Manny Pacquiao, he turned down the Canelo fight. So regardless of what Bob Arum said, he basically just said that Manny Pacquiao was never on Floyd Mayweather's level because promoters have never tried to protect a Floyd Mayweather. Promoters have never tried to protect a Terence Crawford. I mean, if Bob Arum felt that Manny Pacquiao wasn't good enough to fight the best fighters in the division or the best fighter in the division, then no one should have ever ranked Manny Pacquiao as one of the best fighters. His own promoter doesn't even think he's the best. But at the end of the day, you know, this news, it hurts Terence Crawford the most because once again, he had an opportunity to fight on the biggest stage. And yes, people already knew. Fans who hated Terence Crawford, fans that loved Terence Crawford. And when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, they all knew deep down that Terence Crawford was most likely going to hurt Manny Pacquiao seriously. Regardless if it was today, if it was 2 years ago, or if it was, as Bob Arum said, 15 years ago. Terence Crawford would have always been Manny Pacquiao's biggest nightmare in the ring because of his style and his natural power that he has. But at the end of the day, because Manny Pacquiao wisely signed with Al Haymon in the PBC series, Manny Pacquiao still has tons of options. He's talking about fighting against Keith Thurman. And you know, that's funny too, because if you think about what Bob Arum said, Bob was saying that Manny Pacquiao is too old to fight against Terence Crawford. But yet Manny Pacquiao is interested in facing Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is pretty much the same age as a Terence Crawford. They have the same level of experience in the ring as a pro. The only difference is Terence Crawford is far more dangerous than a Keith Thurman. The sad thing is now we know if this would have been a Floyd Mayweather or a Terence Crawford in Manny Pacquiao's shoes, where they were the ones that was close to 40 years old, and you had a young Manny Pacquiao that was promoted by Bob Arum as well, we know that fight would have happened. Not only would Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather demand the fight, but Bob Arum, he would do everything in his power to make the fight come to fruition. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I'll catch up with you guys later. I'm on to the next one.
Take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, accuracy, reflex, head movement, and striking technique. Train every time, everywhere with the Focus Ball.